Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and we're going to be talking about another NFL trade rumor, as a lot of the headlines the last day or two has been about Jalen Ramsey and a potential trade that would send him and some draft picks to the Detroit Lions in exchange for the safety cornerback. Sorry, not the safety cornerback. Instead of safety corner, I meant superstar cornerback, and arguably probably has been one of the best corners in football in the last multiple years. It's been just an amazing impact to that Rams team. If you want to go all the way back to when he was on the Jaguars as well, he has easily been one of the best. He's been easily one of the best corners in football for a while now. And as the Rams, I don't know what's going on with the Rams. I think with Sean McVay returning to their roster, or to the as the head coach next season, I don't think this Rams team is trying to be bad, but it's looking like they might have to get rid of Jalen Ramsey for contract reasons, and that's what I'm just thinking is what's going to have to happen is they will have to get rid of Jalen Ramsey because of having to just because of salary, cap space. I think if the Rams want to add in some talent on other positions that they need help on, I think, and also if you want to get some draft capital for Ramsey as well, I think the best decision for this Rams team probably is to be Jalen is to trade Jalen Ramsey. Now, Jalen Ramsey actually kind of made a little sort of comment about this trade. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver for the Lions, has been trying to recruit Jalen on Twitter, and so basically Jalen basically responded back on Twitter and said, "LOL, much love," and added Jared Goff, who is the Lions quarterback and his former teammate with the Rams, and added Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then he goes to say, "I really tried to get y'all in the playoffs last year, because if you remember, or this year, if you remember, the Rams played the Seahawks, and it was that game that the Rams would have beat the Seahawks. If the Lions would have made the playoffs, and instead they lost in overtime." So he says, I tried to get you all in the playoffs, and he says, I'm not going to comment on my future, but we shall see. And then a laughing emoji. So that is a little weird. I don't know, that seems like there is a potential chance him and LA are going to be parting ways. I've also heard there's a chance the Rams could release Jalen Ramsey. That's could be how bad the cap space is there. So who knows with this. But, let's talk about what a trade would look like to get Jalen Ramsey to the Detroit Lions. I've been seeing possibly the 18th pick in this year's draft. I personally don't see that happening. I do think that in this trade, the Lions receive Jalen Ramsey in a 7th round pick, and the Rams receive a 2nd round pick, which is 43rd overall, and a 4th round pick. And I think that would just get the deal done. I don't think they give up. I don't think they want to give up the 18th overall pick. I think that a 2nd and a 4th for a 7th, and Jalen probably gets it done. But I have no idea what, because if you're thinking about releasing a guy, I think I think that has to mean his value has to go down a little bit. And a 2nd and a 4th, maybe, I don't know. I was going to say maybe a 2nd, a 4th, and a 6th, but I doubt that. I'm thinking right now just a 2nd and a 4th. If that doesn't work, maybe a 2nd and a 3rd for the 7th, and Jalen Ramsey would maybe get the deal done to send Jalen Ramsey to the Lions. But yeah, let's talk about this Lions team. They got a great team. I think really one of the only problems I see is their defense. Their defense is is nice. They have some nice pieces on the defense. They drafted nicely this year with the defense. Had some guys come in the secondary who played pretty well. There was somebody who got like 3 interceptions or 2 interceptions in a game. It was really nice. They had some nice rookies. Aiden Hutchinson's awesome. He's going to be a stud. But the defense isn't as good as it can be, and the offense is great. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. When he's healthy, Jamison Williams, which that's a big question for this team. You possibly got DJ Chark if you re-sign him. You had Jared Goff, who's improved massively. You have DeAndre Swift. Also, yet again, another expiring contract. You have Jamal Williams. You have a great offense, great offensive line as well. So your offense is great. I think you need to add into your defense a little bit. Your defense is really decent, but it just needs like 1 or 2 more pieces, or maybe even 3. And Jalen Ramsey is definitely a way to add to that. And all you need in that division is like a small push. And I think Jalen Ramsey, maybe a couple other pieces for this team, and maybe a couple other re-signs. And I honestly think that the Lions could win the NFC North next season if you trade for Ramsey, maybe add in a couple other pieces of that defense to make that defense more talented. And I really think that's the key to success for this Lions team. And we'll see what happens. I really think that this trade can definitely go down. I think there's a couple other teams that are interested. The Patriots are interested. I think it might be another 1 or 2 teams that are interested in Ramsey. But I think the best team that has the most, the team that has the most to offer is probably the Lions. The Lions and Rams are very familiar with making deals. The Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff trade, even right after the Michael Blockers trade. So the Rams and Lions have made a lot of trades. I see right now the Ramsey is probably the most, to the Lions is probably the most likely situation. You guys, let me know your thoughts. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out.